Now we're going to look at a cash receipts journal example, and I'm on page 310 in your textbook. As you can see there on page 310, you have the cash receipts journal, which is in brownish tan, and then you have your Fairview Church accounts receivable ledger in blue there. So in this case, on the cash receipts journal, you're going to pull from column 3, the accounts receivable credit column. Okay, so when I do that, I take the date. It should be the 15th. Put that in the blue under the date. No item. CR11 is the post reference, meaning cash receipts journal, page 11, which is what page of the cash receipts journal that is. Okay, and then I'd put that $381.60 as a credit in the credit column. And remember, for my first video, accounts receivable ledger's normal balance is a debit. So as you can see, we already have a balance there of $2,289.60. Okay, and our entry on the 15th is a credit of $381.60. I would subtract because they're opposites. So your new debit balance will be $19.08. Okay, that would be a cash receipts journal example. Okay, and it gives it away. It says accounts receivable credit there. That's where you would pull from. Okay, and then remember that you are in the cash receipts journal post referencing account 130, which that means you are posting that amount to the accounts receivable ledger, subsidiary ledger for Fairview Church, account number 130. Okay, I forgot to mention that on the previous video for the sales journal. Make sure you do put in your journals what account number in the post reference you are posting these to. Okay, and then I believe the final example here would be a general journal. If you look at page 311, accounts receivable village crafts on page 311, that we're under the general journal. Okay, so you look there and you have an accounts receivable there. In this case, it's a credit, so you just go put it in the village crafts accounts receivable account in the blue there. The date would be the 11th. It's from page G11, journal page 11, and it's a credit in the general journal, so you put it as a credit in the credit column in the accounts receivable. And we know credit debit, you subtract, and your new balance will be $33.77.69. So those are pretty easy, pretty straightforward. Kind of just repetition here, just using different journal types in posting money to the accounts receivable ledger. And then the last page here on page 313, you have a schedule of accounts receivables, just like we did in section 11.1. That was accounts payable schedule. Basically, you look through your ledger there and you write down the accounts in order. So you just start at the first account. If you look on page 312, it shows you there. You get Country Crafters all the way down through Washington Schools. You just list them in those order. Okay, in your schedule of accounts receivable sheet on the right there, list them in order and list the balances there. If one thing I want to tell you, if they have a zero balance, you do not have to list them there. I think one of you did do that in your accounts payable, which is fine. But it's just easier. Save yourself time. Okay, and then make sure you add them up. So you list all of them in order there, with basically by account number and their account balances, and then add them up. And you're right, total accounts receivable, add them up, double line. Your title is going to have the company name, schedule of accounts receivable, and then the date. So other than that, that's basically accounts receivable ledgers, pretty similar to the payable, just a little different because they're receivables. So have at that. I will do a couple quick videos for you on work together and your application.